Not many people want to play ugly characters in RPGs, and if they do, they want the full-blown Oblivion experience. Unfortunately, we don't have the sliders to make true abominations in Baldur's Gate 3, so we'll have to settle for what mod authors provide. A good chunk of what you'll find on Nexus is customization mods, and sifting through them to find the best ones is time-consuming, but that's why we're here today. I've compiled a list with nothing but
the cream of the crop!
Baldur's Goonsack.
So nobody ends up with issues, you'll want to be using patches for CC races if you wind up using some of these mods together. We'll start with some color additions. First up is Fantasy Skin Tone Expansion and Skin Tone Expansion Natural Tones. Between these two mods, that's a whopping 553 new skin tones. There's loads of variations in colors, shades, and depth. But we need some different mods for the Dragonborn players out there. P4 Dragonborn Scale Colours and Sparrow's Gilded Dragon Scales have some brilliant colour combinations. So that's my recommendations for your skincare done. For hair colours, we've got Astrality's Hair Colour Supplement, which includes both natural and colourful tones, with variations for matching or dark eyebrows and eyelashes. You've got a lot of options for eyes. If you want glowing eyes or other effects and really unique eyes, you're probably going to want to use Eyes of the Beholder. I don't personally use it, as it functions as a replacer for the eyes in the base game, and is not compatible with a lot of head preset mods. What I do use is New Eye Colors and Blindness for all eyes. It has more options packed into it than you'd know what to do with. After installing all of the options, it took the eye selection menu over a minute to load. Boatloads of color options, bloodshot, colored, and regular whites of the eyes. Blindness in both or either eye, with different percentages of blindness. Glow effects will only work on Dragonborn and Tieflings, just like the base game. So if you want glowy stuff, just go with Eyes of the Beholder. If not, this is the eye mod you're looking for. With all the options installed, it's overkill. You'll want to go through and remove some of the blindness options. Thankfully, they all come in separate, clearly labeled pack files which can easily be filtered out. For horns, we've got P4 Custom Horn Colours, adding some new colours and copying some additional colours from horn tips to the base horn colour options. For makeup and tattoos, I had P4 Custom Tattoo and Makeup Colours. They look great. But Coven Elf's new colours for tattoo and makeup uses Padme's mod as a base, and it seems to simply override it with more colour additions. Either, or both, you'll have more colours showing up. And while we're at it, let's go ahead and increase the resolution of both with upscaled tattoos and more. Currently there's no way to add new tattoos which are not replaces. That's where Unique Tab Custom Appearance would come in, allowing you to have separate tattoos for your character as to not replace tattoos which NPCs use. I do not currently use it, as it's not compatible with a lot of head preset mods, same as Eyes of the Beholder. I'm sure I'll swap to it at some point. A mod I do use though is Beholder Tattoo Replacement, because it just looks amazing. And I would use Ritual Scar Vanilla Replacement from the same author, but it conflicts with Less Veins on Face, unfortunately. So you'll have to take your pick until something can be worked out. Help me get to 1,000 subscribers, so next video you can watch ads while I get money. Under Tori's MISC mods, you'll find a file called More CC Colors, which adds more eye and hair colors, but I've got it primarily for the new Scar editions. Having cuts that look fresh is pretty badass. Piercing options in the base game are actually pretty substantial compared to a lot of other games, but with piercing edits and Trip's accessory collection, we've got more in abundance. Eyewear, more colors, more combinations and types, from lip rings to dermal piercings. You'll want multiple files from piercing edits. Jurinsky uses some assets from Trip's accessory collection to make more combinations, and has a work in progress file for Dragonborn piercings, which, at the time of recording, is just for the Wild Heart Barbarian piercings. Icons for modded character creation options are becoming more common, but for some mods you'll see empty blank boxes. I've read from one mod author that it seems to be a DirectX 11 issue. The mods which add horns to the game are incredible. Horns of Faerun you've probably seen before, adding multiple horn styles for all races except Dragonborn, including this one with the jewelry which everyone seems to be using. Sayer's horns, new horn options for everyone, has some iconic inclusions. Nicol Bolas horns from Magic the Gathering, and Illidan Stormrage's horns from Warcraft. Unlike Horns of Faerun, Dragonborn is included here. Orthon's horns adds multiple variations of the chaotic design from the base game. At time of recording, available for human, elf, drow, half-elf, and tieflings. Thomas the Tank Engine is just one of those mods every game needs to have. You can find it in the Horns tab. As we get into the beards and hair, we should first look at HD hair and beards. It will replace the vanilla hair textures with some high resolution ones. It looks best with TAA, and in my experience DLAA, anti-aliasing options, and will take effect on any modded hair that uses the vanilla assets. With some hairstyles it might make the hair look too thin, but for the vast majority of them it's a step up. I don't have too many mods for facial hair, but the ones I do have are pretty damn nice. All beards for drow, elves, and half-orc does what it says. You can unimmersively add beards to elves, but it's mainly to give half-orcs their mustaches back. Plus cosmetics, Ketheric's beard, Elminster's beard, and Gale's beard add those NPCs' beards as options for all bodies and races excluding Dragonborn. Githbeard adds a particular NPC's beard just for Githyanki males. The next two mods are just for dwarves, male and female. Big Dwarven Beards has some true Dwarven beard options. Physics are a little snappy, but for a lot of us that's a small price to pay, or even a bonus. More Beards for dwarves adds some nice short options in the Dwarven aesthetic. You might opt for these if you can't abide the wonky physics of the big beards. Now we just need a mod that slaps beards on a bunch of female dwarf NPCs, so it can be as Tolkien intended. More Hair's full release adds 22 NPC hairstyles to the character creator, from both companions and other NPCs. From the same author, we also have Long Hairs, which adds 5 long hairstyles, and Harpy Hairs with 4 ponytail variations, both for all races and bodies of course. All 3 of these mods will need patches for CC races, mentioned earlier on. More Hairs and Long Hairs also work for Dragonborn, with less than favourable results. De-Accessorized NPC Hairstyles adds 2 variations of the Umberlee hairstyle, and orange hair without all the jewelry and crap. Shibariwaluigi's NPC hair edits adds many variations of orange hair in different lengths with different bangs, as well as some variations of the Bruenor Twin Tails hairstyle with 2 braids and 2 Goblin Mohawk hairstyles. Lara Croft hairstyle has 2 ponytails inspired by Tomb Raider 2013. The mod has optional replaces for Shadowheart and Minthara's hair. Long straight hair adds just that, a really simple hairstyle, one of my favourites. Horned hairstyles add some interesting hairstyles with these bun things. 7 variations with different bangs and fringes. You can get version D1 without the horns with half-loose hairstyle. And from the same author as the last 2, we have Heir of Thunder, Thrud's hairstyle. It looks how I feel. Messy Hair adds a single hairstyle, unfortunately only for human elf drow, half-elf tiefling, and Githyanki regular female bodies. Mizora and Neres hairstyle adds just that for human elf drow, half-elf tiefling, male and female regular bodies. I forgot to record the footage for it. Plus cosmetics, Voss hair adds the goofiest hairstyle possible from the base game. Mashed Up Hairs adds 5 good-looking hairstyles for regular female humans, elves, drow, half-elves, tieflings. Tab's Hair Salon adds over 100 hairstyles, mostly just for the tall races, male and female regular bodies. There's a download which works for all races too, but there's no physics, which is a big loss. There's also a separate mod, Icon Patches for Tab's Hair Salon, which does what it says, cleans up those menus, but there's more. Tab's Hair Mixer adds all the Tab's Hair Salon hairstyles to the Beards tab, allowing you to create all sorts of combinations. This is an awesome idea and I want to see more of it in the future. Not much use if you're wanting a beard, but it's amazing otherwise. For the best effect, combine tied up hairstyles with loose ones. Vessnelle's hair collection is also mostly just for tall races. You'll find a bunch of great options for male characters in this mod too though. A lot of hair mods focus on girly hairstyles, it just is what it is, but not this one thankfully. Honey's Hair Kitchen has a great selection of alternative looking hairstyles, though unfortunately they are mostly just for the regular female body. It hasn't had an update in a good while, hopefully it will get more support in the future. The glasses on this one hairstyle I would really love to see added as a piercing option. Ellian's hair has a bunch of Japanese and anime-inspired hairstyles. It has some really long hair options too, if that's your thing. Unfortunately, this pack is also aimed at tall races without strong body support, only available for humans, elves, half-elves, tieflings, on regular bodies. Hair with long bang cover eyes is the ideal hair mod for people who listen to My Chemical Romance. It has some crazy long hair options with eye-covering bangs and fringes. Similar to Tav's hair mixer, you can optionally put some of the bangs into the horn section for combining hairstyles. These hairs are so unique and ridiculous that they just had to be included. Only available for elf, drow, half-elf, human, tiefling, githyanki, female and male, regular bodies. Dissidia's hair adds some iconic hairstyles ported from Final Fantasy, if that's your thing. Ghouls Customization Compendium, Custom Heads, Horns, and Beards is one of my favorite customization mods by far. It's a bit of a wombo combo, awesome horn designs for tieflings, Dorian's mustache from Dragon Age Inquisition, which hits a little bit different on some heads, a shaved ponytail hairstyle, a few piercing options, and some of the best looking head presets on Nexus, including an undead preset, which is something truly unique. All head presets support visual effects, which is something I'll get into later. It has icons for the menus, which is thankfully becoming more common. Nobody likes looking at endless boxes of question marks. Ghouls Customization Compendium also has support for Eyes of the Beholder and Unique Tav Custom Appearance. I suspect we'll see much more added into this pack in the future. Another combo mod is Lae'zel's Head and Hair. With a single hairstyle and face preset, the hair is an edited Umberlee hairstyle with extra jewelry. Both support only human, elf, drow, half-elf, and tiefling on the regular female body. I don't believe it has VFX support, Unique Tav, or Eyes of the Beholder support. Before I get into more head mods, Bobblehead Begone changes the neck proportions of female halflings so they don't look like human slugs from the side.
Bruh.
Jarinsky's Heads for the short lads has 5 heads total, 2 for male gnomes, 2 for male halflings, and 1 for male dwarf. They have VFX and Unique Tav custom appearance support. The way he presents them in these images makes them look like a Hobbit metal band. Vamperen's Other Heads Repaired has 11 heads for elves, and a couple less for half-elves, drow, humans, and tieflings, on the regular female body. It's also got 1 or 2 options for the regular male bodies of the same races. They have VFX and Eyes of the Beholder support. If you want that supermodel look, this is probably your mod. Thermia's Sister, Face Preset, or Head Replacer for Shadowheart or Minthara, adds 2 variations of the same head for the same races as Vamperen's Other Heads for the regular female body. They have VFX support. Strong Female Heads adds 2 heads for the strong female human, elf, drow, half-elf, and tiefling bodies. They have VFX support and strong mummy energy. Krayn Head adds a single head for the regular female human, elf, drow, half-elf, tiefling bodies. It has VFX, Eyes of the Beholder, and Unique Tav custom appearance support. MJK Heads, Elves, Dwarves, Gnomes, Humans, has 3 heads, 1 for strong male, human, elf, drow, half-elf, 1 for male dwarves, and another for male gnomes. They have VFX support. Faces of Faerun has 10 heads, 8 for regular female and 2 for regular male, human, elf, drow, half-elf, and tiefling bodies. They have VFX and Eyes of the Beholder support. The flare head in this picture looks like the sort of chick that would commit certain crimes. Alt Male Half-Elf Head 2 for other races has a single head for regular and strong male human, elf, drow, half-elf, tiefling, and half-orc bodies. I especially like the half-orc head. They have VFX, Eyes of the Beholder, and Unique Tav custom appearance support. Male Human Head 8 for Body Type 4 has a single head for strong male human, elf, drow, half-elf, and tiefling bodies. It has VFX and Unique Tav custom appearance support. All of Jarinsky's head presets are great, so keep track of what else he comes out with. The Dragonkin has a more humanoid-looking head option for both male and female Dragonborn. It does not have VFX support, but it has compatibility with actually feminine Dragonborns and lore-friendly legs, if that's your thing. I ain't judging. Sizable assortment of faces and textures has heads for female tieflings, gnomes, and both female and male heads for halflings. The heads don't have VFX support, but they do have Unique Tav custom appearance and Eyes of the Beholder support. The mod also has loads of body and face texture options you might want to check out. Frosty Faces has an arseload of heads for regular and strong male and female, human, elf, drow, half-elf, tiefling, and githyanki bodies, as well as heads for female dwarves and gnomes, heads for male halflings, and heads for male and female half-orcs. They do not have VFX support. Loulette Heads adds a boatload of heads for regular and strong, male and female, human, elf, drow, half-elf, tiefling, githyanki, and half-orc bodies. I like the male heads more than a lot of the female ones, with the exception of this female half-orc head if you want a softer option for them. They don't have VFX support, but they should have Eyes of the Beholder support. It's a bit of a mixed bag this mod, but there's some heads that I really like. New character creation presets Whip has a whole gaggle of heads for human, elf, drow, half-elf, tiefling, and githyanki, regular female and male bodies, with a few others thrown in. They have VFX and Eyes of the Beholder support. I really like the female githyanki options here, and the female gnome. There's definitely a lack of customization for some races. So, what's up with VFX support? Well, the head presets will override the VFX files. You would probably assume that if the VFX from mod A overwrites mod B, that the last in the load order would be the head with functional effects. But it's not. It's alphabetical if you can believe it. To get VFX working with a bunch of VFX capable heads installed, you'll need to change the name of the pack file. Adding Z and an underscore to the front of it will do the job. I've been seeing more mentions of a community patch potentially being in the works, but until we get a big old patch, this is an easy enough fix. Dachel's Half-Orcs is a replacer mod for the female Half-Orc presets in the base game. They definitely do look better, though I'd love to see it converted to a non-replacer mod, and there is a visible neck seam on one of the heads, but other than that, they are fantastic. XX's new female head preset adds a cutesy anime girl looking head preset for human, elf, drow, half-elf, tiefling, regular female bodies. A lot of people seem to like it, not really my thing. Heads not only for tieflings adds 2 more cutesy looking heads for human, elf, drow, half-elf, tiefling, regular female bodies. Bulky Dwarf Heads has 2 good looking blokes in it, probably the coolest looking male dwarf head presets around. No VFX support currently, but it's a pretty new mod. Head presets and glass skin has 2 to 4 heads for human, elf, drow, half-elf, tiefling, regular and strong male bodies. No VFX support, but they do have Eyes of the Beholder and unique tab custom appearance support. The mod also comes with very clean skin textures. If wrinkles bother you, less wrinkled expression and forehead for face is something you might want to check out. I haven't given it a whirl myself. Ghouls Vanilla Piercing Recolors is also a mod I haven't tested myself, but if y'all want gold or black piercings, you could give it a try. In earrings for Astarion and Lae'zel, there's 2 downloads. I use Lae'zel's silver earrings to give her the earrings she had in the intro cinematics. Her in-game model doesn't have them, and there's an option to give Astarion a pearl earring, which I'm really not a fan of. Gale's Wizardly Updo adds 2 versions of a man-bun mullet combo. You can use the mod as a replacer for Gale's hair, and/or character creation options, only available for humans, elves, half-elves, tieflings on all body types. It's a mild change that suits his character quite a lot. Wizards and man-buns get right along. That unsightly mole, a very subtle Astarion edit, gives him just a little bit of extra oomph. I like the way these look quite a bit. Spoiler warning in regards to Shadowheart end of Act 2, early Act 3. Shadowheart Act 3 hair accessory restored will change the chains on Shadowheart's hair to leather straps when it comes up in the story. It was data mined from the game files, so we can assume that this was always the intention of the model. Due to the nature of modding, if you're watching this video a good time after its release, you'll be wanting to check to see if additional support and options have been added to these mods, or if I've made another video that's potentially made this one redundant. A huge thank you to Jerson for being the one and only supporter. Smash that subscribe button and check out these videos for more modding goodness.